Have you ever wished a resty time? Freeze a moment, hold on to what was. You look back and something in your heart whisper, I wish everything would stay the same. It's natural. When something makes us good, the soul wants hold it back. When something changes without warning, the mind wants resist it. And without give us, we fight account against it, inevitable. But Buddhism with his wisdom millennial reminds us of a truth simple and powerful. Everything changes, everything flows, everything transforms. The suffering is born when we hold on, peace when we learn to drop. Today I want to share with you a message that can relieve your heart and expand your conscience. How accept he passed of the time and the life changes without fear, as stop resisting and start rely. If this message already vibrates with you, subscribe to the channel. Stay until final, because you will not only learn to accept change, but to flourish within it. Music in high on a mountain, in the eye, mist ancient pines, was found a Buddhist temple surrounded by silence and serenity. There, a young monk began his path interior. He was curious, dedicated, and deeply sensitive. One day, while sweepy garden of the temple, found a small flower wild that sprouted between the stones. Its color was so intense, its shape so delicate, that something in his heart is moved. He began to take care of her with care. He watered it every morning with fresh water from the stream, that protected of the wind, and placed small stones so that the sun does not plague with strength. He sat next to she during the meditation. It was more than a flower. It was his company, its symbol of beauty and stability. But with the passage of the days, the flower began to wither, first a leaf, then a petal, until that its color began to fade. The young man monk was filled with sadness. He tried more water, more shade, even mantras in a low voice. Nothing seemed to rest, he processed. One morning, with tears held back, he went to see his teacher. Master, the flower you were taking care of is withering, dying, he said with a trembling voice. I did everything possible, but I can't prevent it from wilting. The old master looked with tenderness, and you replied, Son, did you know that this flower was not born to stay? So why life allowed me find her? Why take care of her if she was destined to leave? The teacher silently raised the look toward the swaying trees with the wind and said, Because your purpose is not. It was to stay. It was to teach you to love without to possess, to enjoy without retain, to caring without demanding permanence, to understand that what flourishes also is called to transform. This flower showed you it more sacred, that everything that comes to you life it makes for, to teach you something, not for you to do it retain, but so that you honor it, live it, and then it let go in peace. The young man low, the look, and for the first time, instead of watering the flower, thanked in silence because he understood that even the loss, it can be a form of love. Close the eyes, take a moment and ask yourself with honesty, what flower are you trying to hold back in your life? To what part of your history you are holding on with, afraid of it changing? Can you love without hold, thank without retain? The flower withers, the day becomes in night. Love changes shape, and you are also in constant transformation. You have not lost anything, you're just being called to let go. And from that modesty, from detachment, begins the true wisdom. Because as it teaches Buddhism, the resistance to change is the root of the suffering. Now yes, from this internal opening, I invite you to receive calmly the following teachings. They are not only ideas, are keys that can help you live change without fear, already walk through life with more presence and acceptance. Just as the young monk had to leave go your flower too, you are called to let go with love. And this is where we begin to understand the first great teaching of Buddhism. Let's get started. Lesson 1. Impermanence is law, spiritual. One of the most powerful teachings and also more challenging of Buddhism is Anika's principle. Impermanence. Everything changes. Everything. The faces that smile at you today someday will leave. The emotions that now shake, they will calm down. Even you are not the same person as you were does a year, nor not even does a day. However, the ego clings, it attaches, wants a resty river with the hands, freeze moments as if we're eternal, to do of the present a cage in place of a bridge. But the river I don't know stops, and here is the profound truth. Resisting change is resisting life itself. Impermanence is not a threat, is a reminder of the sacred, of which nothing nor nobody you belongs. But everything can be loved with depth while present. When you understand this, you stop suffering by the past of the time. You start living with gratitude every moment, every bond, every breath, because you know that everything that is born also transforms, and that is not loss, it is evolution. The tree releases its leaves, the sun sets, hides behind the night, the child converts in adult, and you are also being invited to leave, die apart from you, so that another can to flourish. Impermanence is not a punishment. It is a sacred law that prepares you with love for the inner freedom. Lesson 2. We suffer when we cling. It's not the change that hurts. It's the attachment to what no longer exists. What you have no longer exists is the past of the time, nor the new stage, nor the unexpected goodbye. What it really hurts you, that inner desire that things remain as they are, were, of freezing moments, of retain what was. But Buddhism tells us it remember with compassion. Pain is born when the mind clings to an illusion of permanence. Sometimes we want that relationship no change, that version of us follow long live. May that stage never end. And when life pushes us toward it new, we resist, we fight, we suffer. However, every closure is a teacher disguised. When you accept that a cycle it closes, you open space for something different, wiser, more aligned, to do. It's not about resignation, it's about trust. Trust in which each door that is closing is not a punishment, but a sacred protection. Trust in which your soul knows what you need to let go of, though your ego doesn't know it yet understand. Remember, letting go is not losing, it's choosing your peace before your attachment. And when you do that, the suffering gives way and starts a rebirth. Teaching 3, the soul matures in he change. If you look back today, what were the moments that transformed you the most? Surely they were not the most comfortable. They were not the quiet days nor the stages where everything seemed safe. They were the moments when life shook you, when he forced you to let go of a relationship, leave a place, close a stage, or facing an unexpected loss. The soul does not expand in the area of comfort. The soul matures in the storm, in the uncertainty, in the change. Buddhism, it has been teaching for a long time, centuries. Do not fear the movement of life. It is precisely in that apparent disorder where it begins the awakening. Because when everything moves outside, something begins to get organized inside. The big ones, awakenings, do not occur when everything is stable. They occur when everything changes, when the old identity is broken, when plans fail, when not anymore you can control nothing and only remains surrender. But that surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is recognizing that life has an intelligence greater and that resisting it only prolongs the suffering. Sometimes the soul needs them to fall the external structures to remember his true, internal strength. And when that happens, you are no longer the same. You become more compassionate, more serene, more authentic. So if you're crossing a change, don't reject it. Maybe not you see still, but you are maturing from the soul. Teaching 4. Do not control a river. Learn to float. Imagine for a moment that you are inside of a river. The current carries you away. No, you know for sure towards where, but you feel the strength of his push. Now think, what happens if you resist? Yes, you try to swim against it flow. If you cling to a rock, if you scream to return back, you get exhausted. You get frustrated, and in that, you lose the fight piece. Life is that river, always in movement, always taking you towards something new. And yet, so many times, we want to control its course. We want to arrest it inevitable, retain what already goes, or forces what has not yet arrived. But the wise teaches Buddhism, no fight against the current. It does not resist, it does not cling, it floats, observes, adapts. This does not mean resignation, it means trust. Trust in which the river of life does not take you at random, but to where your soul needs arrive. Even if you from the ego or the fear, no, you understand destiny. When loose the need to control everything, appears the true peace. That peace that does not depend on everything be perfect, but of your capacity to release the control and flow with awareness. Instead of asking you, how do I avoid that this changes, you can ask yourself, what? What can I learn from this movement? Part of me needs to trust more in the life, because the river does not stop, and you were not made to anchor you in a shore. You were made to learn to float. Lesson 5. What is going away does space for what should be arrive. Every loss, no matter how painful it seems, it is also a way of spiritual cleansing. When something or someone moves away from you, life leave a empty, and that empty many. Sometimes it is so uncomfortable that we try fill it with memories, with nostalgia, with endurance. But what we don't always see is that this space new, that one hollow interior, it is not punishment, is preparation. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that life has his own intelligence, an intelligence that sometimes, without ask us permission, remove from our path which already fulfilled your cycle, not for to hurt us, but to open us to what is aligned with our growth. Sometimes they take something away to give you space. Sometimes they let you go so that you can fly. Sometimes you break so that light can enter. But none of that happens if we continue looking back. If you keep focusing your energy on what you lost, you will not be able to see what is playing door. The mind wants certainties. The soul needs space. And how you do space? Letting go, giving thanks what was experienced, and trusting that what must can't arrive, do it while you follow, tied to what already was. Today maybe life is inviting you to that, to stop looking for the rear view mirror, to let go of what was, with love already open the arms, not to hold, but to receive, that the soul is not filled with the past, expands in the present when it new find a place. Take a break, breathe slowly and deeply, feel the air entering and leaving your body, as it does life itself, without cling, without stop. Music. Ask yourself with sincerity, what part of you still resists? Change? What are you holding that is already asking to be released with love? Sometimes the elderly act of wisdom is not do more, but allow life do his work and you just trust. The tree does not cling to autumn, it lets go its leaves knowing that new they will come. Because you would follow, charging what the life already asked you to let go. Close your eyes for a moment, breathe softly, deeply, and repeat. Internally with me, feeling each word from the heart. Hug change as a sacred part of my evolution. I let go with love what I already have fulfilled his purpose in my life. Music, I trust in which everything that is transformed guides me towards my major good. My soul does not fear change. It honors it as part of the awakening. Already I don't cling, I no longer resist. I choose flow with the dance of life. I'm exactly where I need to be, and everything that arrives also will pass. Breathe. Again, feel these words take root in your energy, and allow this truth live in you beyond of the video. Time doesn't come to take anything away from you. Comes to show you that nothing belongs to you really. Neither people, nor the moments, nor the forms of yesterday. Everything changes. Everything flows. Everything is transforms. And when you stop resisting, life start embracing yourself from a deeper place deep. If this message brought you clarity, peace, or simply a breath of fresh air, for the soul, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who need to learn to let go with love. Tell me in the comments what you are ready to let go of and what new the way you are willing to receive. Remember, nothing stays the same, but what is transforms with awareness blooms, and you, even in half of the change, you continue being light. See you soon in other meeting of the soul. Until then, go on flowing, keep going shining. A hug from light.